Hello and welcome to this Spreadsheet to Cloud Systems series. We will be discussing the features and the services that the system can provide. Uh, Also, how to customize per module. And then at the end of this series, we're going to give you the name of the software that we used for this review and how are you going to customize this using only our own or company spreadsheets that can be uploaded to the cloud and be converted into a full functional system that can be accessed on your desktop, laptop, and mobile devices. That is very useful nowadays if you want to engage your teams in work from home tasks and operations. In this discussion, we're going to give you and show you the sales order management system. So please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and get notified of the upcoming videos. This is the interface of our sales order management system. If you can see, it has a menu. Okay, so we have the menu for the sales order management, and then the submenus are the accounts, the sales order, the product, the price list, and the delivery note. And then for the other modules, you can see on this part. Okay, let's start on our first uh, submenu. As you can see, we don't have any records yet. So let's try to add an account. Account name, for example, um, one. Number two. Employees, let's say we have 50. On the drop down, okay, you can choose what is the nature or our industry. So let's try to choose technology. 50. Okay. On the account owner, when you click on the drop down for the choices, the only users that will appear on this part are the only registered user access. Okay, so the account ID was already created. Payment method, we have check, credit cards, e-payment. If you want to add the payment method, others, click OK. You will notice that it's already added here. Payment terms, again, you can add if it is a COD or wire transfer. You have other options. Accounts payable date. Again, you can customize this according to the requirement. You just have to fill out these informations to finish the record. So let's try to save. Okay, this is the details view of the account that we made. If you want to see the list view of the following accounts, you just click back. Okay, so this is the list view of the records of the accounts that we made. Um, that's why it is called a list view. It has the list of the records. Let's try to add another record. Account 002. say communication. Let's try to drop down. You just have to fill up its requirements, and later on we're going to show you how are you going to customize this. So say again, we have already filled up the requirements on our details view. Let's go back to see that record, that newly created record here in our list view. So the list of the records are illustrated here. Record 1, record 2. You can always go back, just click and edit. Okay, so save. Okay, great. So if you want to edit this, simply click here. We forgot to. We have, for example, 100 employees. Should say. Okay. We're done on our first sub-module in creating accounts. Now, before we go to the other module of our sales order management, again, what we stated earlier, that for every module we will be showing you customizations that we can make. So let's try to customize our first our details view. So let's try to click here. In order to do that, you have to click on this button, the change design button, that is located in our upper right corner. So click here. Okay, you will be redirected to our development or developer environment. So you can see you can change the position of the fields. So put it here, in here. You can even edit the name of the fields. Now let's try to add other components that you want to customize. So all you have to do is to click here on the add components, and then you have lots of choices of the fields and different types of components that you want to use. Free text or a selection. Let's try to add a free text. Okay, so just click here and then put your cursor here. Let's try to add another status. Since this is a status, should be a pretext. Let's try to save. Okay, so the system is telling us that okay, status. Let's try to save. Let's try to use another field. Stats. Okay, let's try another. So it's condition. Let's try to save. And once done, you just have to click exit to go back to the actual browser. So there you have it. Condition. Save. And then save. Okay. Let's add another component. Again, click here, change design. And then this time, when they add components, let's choose selection. Here. We use the field condition as a free text. So normally we use this to give us a component. The category of the component must be a selection. So what you have to do is to go on the field type, drop down and choose selection. If you want to make it a checkbox or a file upload, image upload that you want to wish to add on this particular submenu, it's very easy to configure. So click selection. Since this is a selection condition, done, pending. Okay, so let's try to save, and then we have another. We have to change this to another condition off, for example. Okay, let's try to save and then exit. Okay, so we have modified our menu, our modules drop down. So you have choices between done and pending. So this is how easy it is to customize the system. Okay, again, let's check if this has or this made an effect on the other modules or on the other records, because the modification that we made here in this particular menu, since our system requires that every module must be centralized. Let's check. Let's go back to our list view and check here on the second record if we have. Okay, so that's it for the first module. Let's try to again change the design. For the settings, you can always change the position, the color, or the style of the font that you wish to add. Okay, let's try to delete, save, and exit. So it's very easy to modify. Let's go now to our next submenu, and that is the sales order submenu or module. This is an interface of our sales order module. We do not have any records yet, so let's try to add. Okay, so automatically generated for our status drop down, confirm order category. Okay, new clients. And let's try to add another old clients. So okay. Customer ID, customer 1, customer name, okay, so we have this one, so click here. Oh, on this part, you just have to pull down the name of the customer. If you can, as you recall, on our first menu, we tried to create 2 records for the account. So here, let's click. Okay, and then the other records, which we already encoded earlier, you don't have to re-encode it. Now, just fill up here. Ship by drop down, airmail, or you can add estimated shipping date would be on the 30th. Shipping address, for example, it's in Metro Manila. Save. Okay. If you can notice, we have an action button here on the lower right area of our module. It is because the system has taken effect on what we did on the previous module. We created an account and a sales order, and the flow of transaction must be automatic after creating the sales order. We just have to click this button and it will be promoted, or the record that we made will take effect on the delivery note. So that's good. Okay, let's try to add products. Try to drop down. Okay, so we don't have any products yet. You can always add in here. So let's try to add a new product. Example, our product number 1 would be to show you clearly, since we do not have any products yet. Okay, we went to this module that is the products CRM, and now we're creating a new product, so that when we try to drop down we will be able to check on. So for the picture or the image, you just have to click here. Okay, we have and now for our product price, let's say this is $150. See, again, when you type the actual price, you will notice that the fields are already being populated. Our product price number, let's make it one. This is $150. Okay, so that's it. Let's try to save. Okay, we have product. Let's try it enter. For example, we have 50. Great. We have our new product. Let's try to check on our list view if we have that new product. Okay, so we have our first product. Let's try to add new product. Product name is laptop. It's brand L. Unit. The type is other. And then let's try to put an image. Great. Let's try to save. Now, for the product price, let's type on one. Okay. And let's try to save. Let's check on our details view if let's do that. And let's try to save it again. Okay, great. We already have we've already added 2 records, the laptop and the mobile phone. Now, before we go back to the sales order model, since what we did is for us to process new records for the sales order, what we did is we jumped on our products CRM module because we are being required to to pull down the products that we're going to process for the sales order. Okay. Um, we must not leave this module without showing you the customizations that we can make. Okay, let's try to click here. And then again, for us to do that, let's click on the change design if you want to add modifications. We're now redirected to our development module. So click here, and then you can see that you can change the color of, okay, black. And instead of discussing customizations that can be made on the design, we will be focusing on the features um, and the and on forms and more advanced and in-depth modifications that we can make in our system. So let's leave the design. As you can see, you can browse on the styles that you want, the positioning or on the font. If you want to add or customize this, you can always change the different positions and make a layout that is exactly the same of what is the appearance of your company based on your requirement when it comes to layout and design. Because for this kind of industry, different clients requires or demands their own layout. So using this system, it's very flexible for us to make any modification. Let's try to save this. So we're done on our products CRM module. We just added 2 records. Let's leave that and go back to our sales order module. Okay, let's try to process our record. Okay, in this area we failed to. At first we failed because uh, we weren't able to create a product yet. And then what we did is we proceed to our product CRM module. Now let's see, let's drop down if we can see the records that we created. Okay, so there we have it, our 2 products. Let's click on our mobile phone. Great. Specification, we did not add. Um, Gen 1. Okay. So since this is under the sales order, we're being asked of how many items. So for example, 150. Notice that the total was already computed. Again, if we try to input 1, okay, the subtotal is 115. So the formula for that is 150 of the unit price times quantity, and that is the 150. If we make it 50, okay, the computation for the subtotal, the discount, the total, okay, if you try to add a tax, for example, 10%, and then try to add a handling fee of 20, the system adopts and giving us the correct computation. To change it to quantity 100, okay, it's giving us the correct computation. Okay, let's try to save this. Okay, let's go back and try to process another transaction. This time we will be using account number 1. So drop down. Okay. So it's already giving us the entries that we made on our uh, on the records that we created on the previous modules. Okay, so click here, drop down. This time let's choose our laptop. Great, it's already here. Specification is um, Gen 2. For the quantity again, let's try to put on 200. It's giving us an accurate and automatic computation for the following fields. Um, the subtotal, the discount, the total, the handling fee if it has. So great. Let's try to save it. Before we leave this module, again, we will show you the modifications and customizations that we can make for this module. Okay, again, to do that, click on the change design. But this time we're going to discuss on the formula. So please notice that the subtotal was computed using a formula on the unit price times the quantity. Okay, so let's try to change the design. Okay, this is the design for the illustration for the developer environment. Again, what we did is the system has tried to compute for the subtotal, and that will be computed using a formula that is unit price times quantity. So simply click here, and you will notice that on the left panel, we have the tab for the formula. So let's try to click on that. Make sure that your mouse or pointer is on the subtotal, and then you point here on the formula button, click. Okay, so there we have it, the formula for the subtotal, which is E19. That is the location of our unit price. So unit price is located on column E and row number 19. So the same principle that we use in spreadsheet formula or a Microsoft Excel formula. We have to state that to give you a clear explanation for the sake of this discussion. And the formula for the subtotal, the E19 is multiplied to another field, which is the quantity that is located on the F column and row 19. So this is how easy it is to modify the formula. Okay, so let's try to give a very basic example of that. So we have price. Let's say, for example, price, and then in here let's type quantity, and then let's type here total. So you can see the formula that we can make, same on the previous example, is first we have to click our cursor here on the total, and then on the formula we just have to supply the values for the price and the quantity, and that is C26 to be multiplied by C27. So don't forget to click apply all formula to take effect on all our modules, and then try to save it and then exit. Let's try it if it will take an effect. Okay, so the price is 100. quantity is 500. Now, okay, it's giving us the correct computation. So this is just uh, a formula, the same idea or procedure on how we construct formula in our spreadsheets. So imagine we're talking about a system for the sales order management to be linked to the accounting system and later on our inventory and management. You will be able to create your own customized version of an ERP system or enterprise resource planning, accounting system, and whatever application that you need for your company. Okay, so we're done here on our sales order management. Let's try to save the records. Let's try to go back. Okay, so we already have our two records on our sales orders. So let's try to hammer on the customer ID. Please notice that the records are being popped up on our uh, side right panel of our menu. Okay, to check if we're pointing on the correct record this time for the customer. Okay, so that's it. After the sales order, we now go to, okay, let's try to remove this. Okay, um, we're done with the accounts and the sales order. Now we will be redirected to or from the sales order going to the delivery note. So we have actions here. By the way, you can always post your comment. Please advise, and then you can attach uh, a file or a document here. When you click on comments, it will be seen by the team members or your clients or the personnel. Uh, okay, so you can also lock this record. Okay, let's go on the action. Also, you notice on the action board right here the modifications made by uh, the user access. Okay. So you have a real-time or an accurate recording of the activities that they are doing. Okay. These are the modifications that this user made. You can also lock the record if it requires a security. Okay, so that's it. You can always download. So this is very useful for every company that you can monitor the activities of your team members and staff. Okay, we're done on our sales order. Let's go now to our um, products. These are the products that we made earlier. So let's try to click here. Okay. So total inventory. We haven't set that yet. This is the interface of our price list. Now we go to our delivery note module. Let's try to promote our products. Okay, let's try to save it. Okay. When you try to hover on this link for the product, it will give us, okay, so we have a monitoring on the list just to check if we're pointing on the right product or right field, correct field. Okay, so we have an action button here. It it says that um, by clicking this button, it will create an action that will automatically create a delivery note. So in this case, we will be creating our delivery note for this particular account. So let's try to click on the delivery note. Right? So from that previous module, we were redirected here. Let's try to check if the sales order is correct. Let's try to hover on that, okay? So on the links, you can also click on to check if our records are correct, okay? And then let's try the customer ID to assure that we're pointing to the right customer. That's correct. And then the product. Okay. So on this area, please notice that we have our action buttons that will enable us to automatically create a stack out, a button to update our delivery if it is completed, email this type of note, and create product invoice. It is good to have a system that is functioning centralized, and then the modification that we can perform is as easy as how we do it in creating formulas using Spreadsheet or Microsoft Excel. We mentioned the name of the actual application for the sake of this discussion. Now let's try to click on what will happen to the action if we try to click on create a stack. Okay, the system is saying that the stack out sheet that you are converting record to has not been installed. Okay, so since we will be discussing a lecture series on spreadsheet to cloud, we will discuss that on our upcoming dates. Now let's try to check what will happen if we click our update delivery button. Okay, so the system is telling us that the action update delivery complete date has been executed or has taken effect. Next is email this delivery. Right? It's showing us that this has been notified to the other department that will receive this transaction, and then of course it has an automatic button for the create product invoice. Right? The system is telling us that the product invoice sheet that you are converting record has been installed. Okay, so the flow of transaction from the sales order management is or must be directly connected or linked to the accounting system. So it's a good thing that using this system, it already given us a complete system that is starting from the sales order, that is already linked to the inventory system, and will be promoted and be linked to the accounting for further transactions. Okay, now let's go to the other modules, the contact modules. We don't have any record yet. Let's try to add our new record. Contact name, let's make it, example is Juan de la Cruz. Account name drop down. Let's choose between the two accounts. Title, supplier, and then just fill up Juan de la Cruz bonus example 09754. Okay, and area is, for example, I'm taking, sorry, Makati Metro Manila, Philippines. This is purchasing. Okay, last contract date. Let's try to save it. Okay, so notice that it already created the following actions. When we made this record for our contacts, create opportunity, create code for the client, create contact, and then create activity. So this is great. Um, a system that can be modified, can be customized, and at the same time giving us uh, a ready-made or an automatic advice or feature that will complete our system requirements for a centralized system. So let's try to click on create opportunity. Okay, we were redirected to this module, and over when you try to drop down, okay, we don't have any. Okay, okay, probability, lead source, purchasement. Try the existing business. Say this is 50%. Amount is 1,000. Prospecting. Prospecting. Okay. Let's try to save this. And marketing. Let's try to save. Okay. And then after doing this, let's try to hover if we're pointing to. Okay. That's good. The contact name that we create is also correct. Okay. Now, the system is asking us if the record that we made can create an action to create quotation. That's good. So let's try to test. Okay, so this is very nice because um, each transaction, whenever we create a record, the system automatically creates the next procedure that we have to do. First, we made a sales order, and then it required us to put on or key in our products list. And then after that, the lead. It also includes the campaign that we should make since this is a sales order management. And then when we click on that, it redirected us and advised us in creating the next step, and that's creating a report. Now, a record for quotation. And now, after creating a quote or quotation module, it is now redirecting us um, to another required procedure, and that is creating of the sales order. So this is very nice and convenient to users or companies that requires this kind of service. Okay, let's try to drop down and see if, okay, let's try to order mobile phone. Specification is Gen 1, quantity say for 100. Okay, so we have already our computation for that, handling fee for 120. Okay, and imagine doing this work from home put a remark. Hello, everyone. Miss you all working from home. So that's great. Let's right click. Now we've already created our um, new quotation. Now it's the system is already advising us if you want to create a sales order. This is nice. We already have the system has created a sales order for us. Okay, let's check if the record for the sales order was correctly reflected, that and it came from the quotation that we made, or the quotation that the system made for us. Okay, that's good. Okay, and then this is great. The system is again suggesting us that we're going to proceed to the next process, and that is creating our delivery note. All we have to do is to click this button, and it will automatically create this record for us. And great, there we have our system created delivery note. Let's check if the sales order is correct. Okay. And that we can check on our details view. Our sales order is okay, that's correct. The customer ID. Okay. Okay, so great. And then again, all of the procedures that we have to process is being advised to us automatic by the system. We also have a monitoring for our team activities, sales, for example, we have a due date, hi, comment, quota, requirement, account name, for our first account, contact name, drop down, lead. We don't have any records yet for this module. Opportunity name, okay, this is one we created. For the code ID, okay, so let's try to save. Advertisement and marketing, okay, so this is the record that we made on our freebies module. This is the quotation. Okay, great. The contact name, and then the account name. Okay, nice. So another actions or modifications that we can create on this module. When we go to tools, it has actions that we can make on the editing. You can edit the entry, you can clone the entry so you don't have to retype. Embed in sheet, and then the export, you can download a spreadsheet file or download in PDF. You can print, and then on the import, you can import your file, spreadsheet or Excel file, sheet from file, and other actions that you wish to create. Also, we have the reports. So click in the reports, we have a dashboard report. Let's see how this report looks like. Um, the system has its template reports for dashboard ranking the pivot. Um, if you want to have a to-do list, labor marker is what you can use if you want to make a barcode or later on a QR code for inventory, and then the address mapping that is already linked to Google Maps, the line graph, the calendar, the Gantt chart, the grouping reports, the Kanban board, and the pie chart, and other reporting options that you wish to include on your modules. Now let's try to go back and create other modifications. Let's try. Okay, since we already are in our list view for the products module, let's click here. Let's try to add other modifications. Screens design, and then let's go to add components and try to put a file upload option. So click here, put this up. Okay, let's call this file upload. Make sure that the field type is a file upload. Let's try to save here. And okay, so we already have that file. Let's try to make it upload file. Save it. So this component will add a feature wherein we can upload a file, whatever file type or file extension it is. Let's try to exit and see if, okay, so we have our upload file. Let's try to upload sample file. This time we're trying to upload a PDF file. Okay, so great. So we have a PDF file. So you can upload any file type, any file extension here on the upload field that we created. Now let's try to add an image upload, like the one that we did here. Okay. Again, we click on the change design and try to add component. So the image that we try to upload, if you want to add that feature, simply click here on the image upload and then put it here. It should have a field name, let's say image, and then let's try to save this. It already has this. Let's say images. Okay, and then click exit. So when we click on, let's try to check if, okay, great, we just added our new image. Let's try to save. Now another modification that is very useful for companies is assigning a barcode or QR code and the signature for digital signing. So click on, again, for us to modify that, click on the change design button. Let's try to move. Well, it's showing us the versions of the modifications that we made. So each time you wish to go back on the previous modification because you're not satisfied on what you did on the latest, you can always go back. Okay, so let's try to add a component, and this time let us choose a signature. Let's put it on the last part. Signature. Okay, so let's try to save this. Oh, it already has. Instead of typing signature, let's authorization. Okay. Authorize signature. Let's try to save. And then exit. Authorize signature. So click in this area, double click. Okay, that's it. This is where we put on our signature. Right? So you can always load the signature save in personal settings. Try to save this one. Okay, that looks good. If you want to change signature, save. Okay, and then click save. Okay, that looks great. Now another feature that you want to add, since we are here in the products module, is the barcode. Again, let's go to change design and add another component, the barcode. Let's try to put it here. Let's try to delete this field and put our barcode here. So make sure that the field type that you chose is a barcode. Okay, so try to save this and then click OK, and then we're going to hit exit. Okay, so for the barcode, just have to copy here and paste this, or you can just type, click. Okay, it already created a barcode for us. Okay, so it's the same on the product ID code that was created, as you can see illustrated below. Okay, now if you want to change it to, for example, type in product 101 and you click enter. Okay, it's giving us the same label for the barcode that we just created. Now let's try to save this. Okay, we've already discussed how to create we give basic examples on designing, since our focus is data management. The formula that how to create formulas using an approach that is very similar on the procedure and how we make formulas on spreadsheets and Excel. We try to add selection buttons on table, modification of formula, adding upload image file, signature, barcode, and other modifications and customizations that we can make. So we hope that this lecture series became useful to you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, put your comments, and hit the notification button for more videos. And at the end of this series, we're going to give you the name of the software that we used for this review. Thank you so much for joining us in this review. We hope that you will still join us in the upcoming videos that we're going to upload. uh, for this lecture series that is entitled Spreadsheet to Cloud Database System. Thanks for watching.